I think I didn't realize how much internal motivation I had to have, because I was like, oh, like I'll put my head up every hour and talk to someone, and every 3 hours I get in the boat and I'll talk to someone. I was like, this is going to be like a breeze. I'll be fine. But I didn't realize that my head was going to be down in water for 6 to 7 hours a day, and I had my own thoughts to deal with for that whole time. Like even though I had company swimming, you can't talk to each other. Not like when you go for a ride or a run
Mm.
with someone. You're with your own thoughts no matter what, and you have to like deal with everything that comes into your head. And sometimes it was really deep thoughts. And then sometimes it was literally just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it was just like counting in my head because I was like, what else am I going to do? Um, but then sometimes I was like, I think my brother showed me this open water swimmer that did like 100 Ks in 12 hours or something like that with a really good tide. And I was like, and when I was swimming along and I think it was like day 4 or something, I'm not one of these open water swimmers. Like, why are you doing this? Like, you're just fooling yourself. There's no way you can actually do this. And then as soon as thoughts started to pop in my head, that's when I started to get cold. It's like when I started to hurt, my arms hurt more. And I was like, okay, you really need to block these thoughts out, and you just have to become more like, yeah, this is easy. Like, oh, it's just swimming. You're just swinging your arms over for 7 hours. Like, you can do that. What a breeze. So yeah,
Yeah.
it became very like one thought or the other. When I was really tired, I could only count, or I could only play a game in my head. Um, so yeah, it was even my own thoughts. I would on my when I used to go to school, I would catch a bus every morning, and I had a bus route that had 16 stops on it. And I would try to remember each stop that we went to. And then I would also try and list each person that hopped on at the different stops. And because I went from year 5 to year 12 to that school, so many people changed. So I was swimming along and I was like, okay, yeah, this person hops on here and then that person hops on there. And it made 3Ks go so quick. And I was like, oh, like break time, like that's awesome. Whereas other times I was like, how has 5 minutes gone by? Like that took forever just to get 1K done. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's one of the hardest things I find about long distance swimming. And like I've done a whole lot of it, but I've had those big sessions, where it might be 8, 10, or like 15K, like open water swim. It's like, yeah, it's just being in your own head.
Yeah.
Is It's a long time to spend there, and just to occupy your mind for that long can be difficult. I found it was okay when it was good conditions and I was swimming next to someone and it
Yeah.
was nice and I could appreciate the view and the warm weather and all of that. But you didn't have any of that apart from the first day.
Yeah.
So it's just when it's just a grind, that's really hard to put up with. So what did you with your thoughts, like what did you tell yourself when you were going into those deeper thoughts, or when you're being negative about what you told yourself, I'm not one of those distance swimmers, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I kind of I started to think kind of more that this was going to be an 80% mental thing and 20% physical. Because when I hopped in the water, my partner was like, oh, have you done like a 10K open water swim before? And I was like, no, like this is like my first time. I'm gonna do 20Ks, like whatever. And then when I got into my own thoughts, I was like, wow, I was like, okay, maybe you're not meant to be here. And then as soon as I started to think those, I was like, no, you're gonna do this for a reason. Like you're gonna swim this for a reason. I was like, every time I take a stroke, like I kind of started to think more that there's like a comfort zone around everyone. And each time I took a stroke to get further into my swim, I was like, my comfort zone is just growing and I'm getting bigger. And like everything I do here is going to make me grow in some way or the other.